Welcome back to Let's Play Corpse Party. At least I can remember the bloody title. You know, it helps that it's windowed as well. When I played Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion yesterday, when I recorded the first 3 parts, I kept forgetting the name of the title because it was in full screen mode the whole time. So I kept referring to it in random names, just like, welcome back to Spook House thing and shit like that. But to be fair, that game has had a different title originally and had to change it because someone was like, "Oh, that name's already taken." That must be a bitch. But anyways, let's begin our journey. We are in a shithole of a school. Is that Seiko? Seiko! This isn't good. This is really bad. Seiko! Can she not hear me? Seiko! She can't hear you because you're not being voice acted by your actual voice actor. You're being voice acted by a man. It doesn't work. It's weird, really, isn't it? It's like when a woman voice acts a male character, it can work depending on the age of the character in question. You don't really get that with guys, though. Guys kind of like, it's just very obvious if a guy is trying to voice act a female character. That really hurts. My ankle is in pretty bad shape. Heavenly Posts. 3rd student reported missing. One by one, the young students of Heavenly Hosts School seem to be disappearing, as now a 3rd student has joined the ranks of the missing. Classmates testify that 5th grader was on her way home from school, but got separated from her friends in the hall and hasn't been seen since. Police are investigating the possibility of a serial kidnapping and have assigned countless investigators on the case in hopes of a speedy resolution. Oh yeah, this is all relevant to, like, how this whole thing kicked off, isn't it? However, 10 days have already passed since the first experience, giving parents and classmates ample cause for concern. It also makes me think of It, because I watched that yesterday with my mother. Well, last night, technically. The 2017 version. It was alright. It's just like, it was alright. It, haha, get it. I know, just like, I've read the novel and I watched the TV miniseries version as well, and I feel like it had, the newer version, it has some good things to it, but it feels like they left out a bit, like, towards the end there's like loads of things missing, and there's one bully that gets killed off, and just like, I can't remember if he was, I don't think he was killed off in the original miniseries, but he gets a pretty gruesome death in the actual novel, if I recall, and he's a lot more of, expanded on his character in the novel. He's more psychotic and shit. Just like a lot of details from the novel that get left out in the adaptations, I notice. But it was alright. At least it didn't have this one scene that was in the novel, which is, you know, kind of like, yeah, that you would not be able to film that. You've probably, if you've read the novel or have heard of like more controversial parts of the novel, you might know what I'm referring to there. The scene in the sewers towards the end. I can't even remember that scene myself, and I read the novel years ago. It scared the shit out of me, to be honest, reading that. Novel I find scarier than both adaptions. But that's usually the case, because, you know, with a novel, you can, like, you know, let your imagination do everything. So, like, you know, when it, you know, takes on different forms, you can visualize it, and you can visualize the death scenes in your mind, and they just freaking shit, you know. While when you actually see it on screen, it doesn't feel as effective. But anyways, there's some sort of official-looking printer pinned to the wall. No time for that now. I've got to check on Seiko. 19/7-something, 09 of the 8th something. The chalk's being worn away in a few spots. leaving the date on the board somewhere somewhat vague, but clearly from the 70s.
Seiko! Seiko!
Thank goodness she's still breathing. Seiko, come on, Seiko, wake up! I remember PewDiePie helping us as well. And I can't remember if he was pronouncing Seiko's name wrong the whole time or not. It was years ago that was.
Naomi? どうしたの?
Would you WhatsApp me? I thought you were dead. Hmm? Where are we? What's going on? That's what I'd like to know. These windows are sealed up tight, and it's pitch black out there. I can't make heads or tails of what I'm seeing.
どうなってるのよ?
Well, this is clearly a school building and stuff. But the desks seem unusually small to you, though. Like an elementary school, which is ironic considering the character art style of time kind of resembles that. You're supposed to be in high school. I know that always bugs me, high school. It's like, you're in the UK, we don't refer to it as high school. It's like secondary school, comp, shit like that, So it always confuses me, with that, It always gets referred to as high school. Elementary school? Can't be. Can it? What is it? The printout on the wall. It says Heavenly Host Elementary. Notice to all faculty and students. Heavenly Host? Isn't that the elementary school that preceded Kizaragi Academy? The one that was shut down and demolished? Oh God, what's happening? Where the hell are we? Where are our friends and Visui? I'm freaking out! God, imagine if she sounded like that. I'd be like, Jesus Christ, you're possessed. Calm down, Seiko, don't get so worked up. I mean, if you were in a place like this, you'd freak the fuck out. Sorry. Seiko and I just stood there in silence, hand in hand. It was the first time in my life that I had been shaking so hard I could hear my teeth chatter. Ever had that experience? It's like I've said, I suffer with anxiety, and when anxiety hacks up, you can get a bit of the teeth chattering. It's like when my mental health went to shit for about a week or so a while ago. I didn't get into the teeth chattering, but I got a lot of the shakes and, the increased heartbeat, the, lost appetite, that horrible tight feeling in your chest and like your guts drop kind of feeling, and your mind just all over the place, and you just generally feel horrible and like you're dying. It's not pleasant. I'd become completely lightheaded and couldn't even think straight, much less wrap my brain around what was happening to us. I kept telling myself it's all a dream, some horrible nightmare, but no matter how hard I wished for it, I just couldn't wake up. And the silence was the worst part of all, when the music finally stopped. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to say something, anything. So I said, "Hello?" Hey, well, she did more or less then, didn't she? I don't have the slightest idea what's going on. But how about we try finding a way out of here? A way out? We can't just stand here waking in terror. We need to do something, you know? Besides, I don't want to be in this creepy place any longer than I have to. But the windows are all sealed shut. I don't just mean they're stuck or locked. It's like they're decorations on the wall. I don't even think they can open. It's like we're in one of those RPGs with limitations. Oh my god! Is it even possible to leave this building? I'm not sure, but there might be an entranceway, or an emergency exit, or something. Some means of getting outside. You're right, and it's a lot better than just standing around. Our voices sound a bit interchangeable at the moment. I feel like I'm going to go all loony in here if we keep this up. Okay then, first step is to leave this room. We've got to keep our spirits up. After all, it's probably not just the two of us in here. The others have to be around somewhere, right? Yeah, and if we can reunite with them, we'll find a way out of here, together. That's a spirit. I had no reason to believe any of what I just said. I was probably delirious, to be honest. But I knew that if I didn't act, I'd start to go mad, I'd start to scream, I'd be inconsolable. So in desperation, I put on the strongest front I could imagine. Manage. Oh, we got this. Character introductions! Direct the eye towards any character and press the action key to learn more about him or her. When you're done, exit through the door on the southeast side of the room and resume play. You know, I think maybe the teacher might have even been in the original. Because it feels like, you know, they're kind of doing that a bit here. It's like, where's Mayu and Moshige, you know? They're not in the introduction phase. What's up with that? Satoshi Mochida, age 17. He certainly doesn't look it. Ooh, I was right. It's like, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's 15 or something like that. There's 17. A student in Kizuragi Academy Senior High, Class 2-9. Fairly average, the most generic of generic, but popular because he's generic. Known for being both kind and cowardly in equal measure. You know, I think the reason why they choose this kind of generic kind of protagonist in a lot of things like this, like it happens in visual novels a lot, and anime and shit. We have a very generic, average looking protagonist. I think maybe the reason they do that is like, so like, the person watching, playing, or reading whatever it can like put themselves in that character's position because their personality is kind of bland and generic and they have a very average look, so it's easier to kind of relate or something maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's why you got so many protagonists that just look identical. Despite his timidness, he's very personable and open, which complements his general sensitivity towards others and makes him a natural leader. The one person ever to challenge that leadership is Naomi, who is, coincidentally, the only person to whom Satoshi regularly defers judgment. Naomi Nakashima, age 16. A student in Kizuragi Academy, Senior High, Class 2-9, and a classmate of Satoshi since Junior High. Frequently greets Satoshi with, "Oh, not you again." Having lost her father a few years back, Naomi and her mother now depend on one another for moral support. Still, she remains optimistic and cheerful. Her home life has given her an interest in nursing, which she is intent on pursuing. She spends her time studying aiming for acceptance to medical school. I wonder, after all she goes through in the series, if she'll actually pursue that career, though. Seiko Shinohara. Hey, even Seiko's here. It's just Moshige and Mayu. I don't think Seiko was in the original either. It's like, what's up with that? You don't like Mayu and Moshige? It's like they're not good enough to have... Or maybe it's because just like, no, we wouldn't be able to place this ball thing in line with everyone. So we couldn't put them there, not even at the back of the classroom. Actually, that does make sense now I think about it. There is literally no room to put them. I mean, maybe you could add one to the side. Actually, you could. You could totally fit all the characters on here. You could have like... I don't know, Moshige right here and Mayu down here. Because the eyeball's right here. And you'd be able to go around them all. Maybe. Oh wait, actually, maybe it'd be a bit awkward on this side. Because of that. I don't know. I don't know why they left out those two characters. Anyway. A free spirit, she often says or does things that take others by surprise. Though she's also easily forgiven due to her generally good nature. Her mother disappeared 3 years ago, leaving her with 3 younger siblings and a working father. As such, she basically serves as head of the household. Seiko seems to regard Naomi as a kindred spirit, and the two of them frequently have long conversations about their many dreams for the future. Yuka Mochida, age 14? Jesus! 14? Fuck off! I was thinking 12 this whole time and thought that was absurd, but 14? That ain't no fucking 14-year-old man. Then again, I remember like watching a program last night with my mother that had like, it was supposed to be a show about people with odd genitalia or some shit, but it was only one person that had strange genitalia. Everyone else just had different health issues, and there was one guy in India who's like 17 years old, and he literally looks like he's no more than 4 years old, sounds like he's no more than 4 years old. He's like, it's like dwarfism, but also like doesn't age the face or anything like that. So he literally looks like he's no more than 4 years old. That must be weird as fuck. Maybe it's a similar case here, but then again, it's probably just one of those design issues with characters that Japan likes to do. I don't know. Sadoshi's little sister. She's supposed to be 14, but she looks more 4 than 14. Though she's an 8th grader at Kisaragi Academy Junior High School, she looks and acts much younger. Well, at least they acknowledge as much. In the Mochida household, Yuka has always been the princess, generally getting her way and thus never really shedding her childlike behavior. Despite this, she yearns to grow up, often attempting to act older or braver than she is. And this often gets her into trouble. Miss Yui Shishiro, age 23. Yeah, that scares me, that. Just like, I'm a few years older than that. Just like, I've been freaking making these videos for so many years. Just like, when my anxiety and all that hit, it just made me realize just how, like, much time had passed. It's like, fuck, man. The years just fly by. It's like, I'll be 27 later this year. It's just like, time! Why do you go? It's like you only really acknowledge these things. Like, it's probably like that, isn't it? It's like when you're a kid and when you get to your teens, you just like, I just want to grow up. And once you finally get into your 20s, you start to think, it's like, fuck, I'm getting older. Just like, you know, and it's just like, nah, you're still a spring chicken, boy. You're just like, but you still feel like, oh my god, I'm getting older. It's just like while I was a kid, it's like, I'm getting older, more presents, yay! It's just like a different outlook, isn't it? It's just like, I remember like when I was about like, just like a few years ago, I just remember saying, it's just like, I'm having a quarter life crisis. That's what it feels like. An 11th grade English teacher at Kisaragi Academy Senior High School. Just started this semester after passing her teaching exam and is eager to make an impression. Though not a perfect instructor by any means, her unjaded zeal and enthusiasm are infectious. And her students seem generally responsive to her methods. Also serves as a teacher assistant during homeroom to class 2-9. Really seems well connected with the students there. When she's in charge, all eyes are on her always. Such as this eyeball. Yoshiki Shishinoma, age 17. A student in Kisaragi Academy Senior High, Class 2-9. often regarded as sarcastic and cynical. What are you, me then? But as far as he's concerned, he's just being honest. Although generally not one to participate in events, his fondness for Satoshi and Ayumi means he'll make an exception now and again if either is involved. Mostly Ayumi, but he is pretty chill with Satoshi's roundness. We get more backstory on why he's cares about Ayumi. With intense drama at home, Yoshiki currently works part-time after school to afford rent on a small apartment where he lives alone. Ayumi Shinozaki, age 17. Does that look like a 17-year-old to you? Doesn't to me. The appointed representative of Kizuragi Academy Higher Class 2-9 often subjects her classmates to ghost stories and revels in hearing them scream. It's generally believed that she carries candles and other horror goods with her at all times, just in case an opportunity presents itself to use them. In truth, however, Ayumi wears this reputation as a mask to hide her own fear of the unknown, which rivals even Satoshi's in its intensity. When faced with a truly scary situation, her knees give out and panic sets in. Only a personal pride can break her out of this fear-induced state. And that is our cast of characters, minus Moshige and Mai. Can we read this? Interact with anything? A lone frog, soaked in formalin, sits upon the shelf, eagerly awaiting dissection. Now, for one, before you got that, I was thinking, oh, it's like Mo 3, is it going to be a save point? But then I remembered, no, that's not how save points work in this game. You could totally have room to put characters up here, though. What the fuck, game? Just like, oh, we don't want to include those two characters. We can't be asking them more information here. They're side characters.
Naomi. Okay.
See what I mean? You saw that, right? Like, the name was in the middle of the sentence, but it was, like, spoken at the end of the sentence. Different sentence structure. Classic RPG, that, isn't it? It's like, no, we can't have you all walking around the same. Although, some RPGs do it, like Final Fantasy VIII. I like when RPGs do that. But, when a party gets, a bit too big, too bit of a big corpse party, it's like, it's kind of hard to, have them all on the screen at the same time moving around, I guess. Hey, Naomi? Is something wrong with your leg? Oh yeah, I was so freaked out I forgot all about it. I think I might have sprained my ankle. Well, that's not good. Will it be okay? I can walk at least. I'm sure it'll heal on itself. And not be a reoccurring thing or anything here. Yeah, but you shouldn't push yourself. Here, lean on my shoulder, okay? Okay, thanks. Not that you can actually see it, because one sprite at a time. Shells are filled to overflowing with long black hairs. Classic Asian horror. It's all about the hair. The chalk's been one way to fix us leaving and a day that breakfast. Heavenly host, so many knows all facility due to the giant consideration, get out of caution is heavily recommended during all daily activities. The case instance victim was taken quickly and speedily so pleased and made alert and aware at all times. Principal Takamine Yanagari. Wait a sec. Hey! Another earthquake? No! Is it over? Phew. I've had enough. Let's just get out of this room. What's wrong? This hallway looks totally different than it did before. What do you mean different before? Oh, we didn't even exit the room till now. Maybe I could have exited the room earlier. Maybe the earthquake made more of the floor collapse? Oh wait, she was out here originally, wasn't she? I remember. Oh yeah, we have to walk around, didn't we? Yeah, maybe. This bucket will be relevant, or maybe it was a different one. Those guitar squeals, man. There's a yellow fluid concealing inside rusted buckets.
何これおしっこやめてよ
Oshiko? Is that what you said? Is that pee? Is that how pee is pronounced in Japanese? It's like there's a bit of timey-wimey kind of stuff going on in this game we'll, inevitably get to. It's pretty interesting. And again, going back to Blood Drive made me so disappointed in the decline in quality from how the series started out, Started off with this game, and that PSP version looked fucking awesome and amazing and shit. And then it just slowly collapsed in on itself like a wet fart. It's like the first sequel looked okay-ish, but it felt like it didn't really focus much on the horror. But it did, to an extent, more than I felt there was in, Blood Drive. Because Blood Drive did have the horror, but it just felt underwhelming because you had characters that weren't really reacting much to it and were just like, oh yeah, and it's like, oh, you don't scare me, so why should I be scared if the characters aren't scared, It just completely misses the point, essentially. But anyways, there's a loose board lying on the ground here. Take it with you. This right here is something that is not changed, either. In freaking Blood Drive, the old board trick is there as well. Picking up boards to get across, random broken floors. Like how convenient that we find that when there's literally nowhere to go without it. If I recall, we use it twice. The gap is relatively narrow here, it seems crossable, but it's a little too wide to risk jumping. Hey Naomi, what about that loose board we found? You think it would support our weight? Like a bridge? I don't know, it seems kind of beat up, but I guess it is pretty solid. Try it! There's no other option. This board has been set in place. Can't read it? I mean, it does look a bit torn. Ooh, this room's different. Ooh.
どうしたのナオミ
You see that right up there? It's like, it's like you got like actual, character, not sprites. What would it be? Polygons? Whatever. You get what I mean, maybe. So it's like more up to date in the in Blood Drive, but I feel this random, like they all look generic and all that. But I feel like the tone of the game just like makes it so that this actually becomes scary because it's just like the disturbingness of it. Which again, Blood Drive was totally lacking in. They may have had like actual corpses of people, but it didn't really look all that great, to be honest, either way. But it's the tone that sets it, If the tone just doesn't feel scary, then it's just it falls apart like this whole place right here. Look, over there. Did you voice act your last line? I wasn't paying attention. Are those bones? Like people bones? Nah, I'm sure it's props. What? Why is there a dead person here? Better watch your steps, Seiko. There's a big ass hole behind you. Wait, let me look at them more closely. Maybe they're not real. Well, you're not looking very closely. You're not close to it. Let's have a good old look. They really are somebody's bones. It's like, again, in Blood Drive, looking at shit like this actually fills up a meter, but I don't think that's the case in this game. That's one interesting thing they had, but it kind of also deters you from looking at it, and examining all the creepier stuff. It kind of like it falls flat, while this is just like clearly, just like they struck gold in the first one, and then struck silver and bronze with the sequels, and then nothing. Did I read her line or something in Bones Bar? No! I don't know if you did! And I don't care, but Bones. Seiko! U2... is the name of a band, but I mean U2 as in U2 people. Yeah. You two are new victims, are you not? It's like the spirits also, actually take on a human form in Blood Drive. But I honestly kind of like the appeal of just the little flames they have going on in the original. It has its appeal, It feels weird seeing them as a chibi character, in Blood Drive. A ghost? Who are you? I was brought here against my will and confined, just like you. Confined? Confined? You mean there's no way out? I'm afraid not. This school exists in a reality all its own, cut off from the world you know. So why have we been brought here? They brought you. They're constantly bringing new victims into this school. Sinless innocents, one after another, all trapped in here, doomed to live out the rest of their days in this hell. Who are they? This is their cursed, multi-dimensional nexus, multiple planes of existence, all piled on top of one another, created by powerful, vengeful spirits. Closed space, or perhaps closed spaces. You, and we as well, are the unlucky victims of their twisted whims. We have all been abducted by aliens. It's not that stupid. Closed spaces? Indeed. And it seems you two are not the only ones to have been brought here. I'm sensing numerous others. What? Does that mean everybody else is here too? Are they okay, I wonder? So our friends are in this school too? I don't know the exact number, but I do know that others were pulled into these spaces at the same time as you. They are definitely in this school. Oh my god, that's such good news, Naomi! They're here, we're not alone! Well, it's not good news for them, but good news that they're all here, I guess. That means Mochila's here too. I'll bet that'll make you feel a lot better, right? However, you cannot meet them. They are definitely in the school, but the space they occupy differs from the space we occupy. Yeah, they got like different like you said, like spaces. It's like they're in like they could travel the whole school and not find them. It's because it's like a different dimension kind of thing, They're not all in the same plane. It's like it's weird, and it'll kind of make some sense, but it's a bit of a kind of confusing thing. But they definitely in the school. The space they occupy is the space we occupy. If you wish to see your friends, you must find some means of entering their space or bringing them into this space. It's like the spirit says, there is a way of crossing between these spaces, but only relevant to when the plot wants to advance. Because it's a bit of an I don't know how to describe it. Maybe an abstract thing. I mean, there is I don't know. Feels like it's time based. It's like it can only do certain things that will aid stuff like that when the plot wants it to. It's it takes time for these things to develop. Even then, escape is nigh impossible. But at least you'll be able to die together. Oh God! Is there no way out of here then? You said we were brought here by vengeful spirits, right? Who are they, and why have they taken us? I don't know. Neither the motives of our captors, nor a means of escaping this hell. All I know is that with some effort, you can at least live out your days together, in the same space, and that alone is a fate worth fighting for. 2 heads are better than 1. Your chances and your opportunities are so much greater when working together. Now, what I find interesting is like the spirits that are trapped in the school. Some of them are pretty chill and nice, like this one, but there are, sinister ones that have become vengeful spirits. But this first one is fairly chill. Do whatever you can to find a way out of here. And he's like very supportive kind, he's just like giving them advice. Don't end up like us. I will open the door for you. Somehow. Oh. No. It's the horror sting.
Naomi, run! We have to get out of here now. Okay.
I have no control over that, so I couldn't get a game over or anything. Game overs count as bad endings in this game. It's like multiple endings,
大丈夫セイコ
Well, I think there's ways where you can get a game over without getting one of the endings, I don't know. But there's 2 different endings for this one, and it's all down to one choice, and I can't quite remember where it was. But it's a bit later on in this chapter.
But what the hell was that? A child spirit?
And it scared away the good spirits.
It did kind of glow. I never believed in ghosts before. Is this really happening? Oh my god, our voices are indistinguishable! There were definitely ghosts in there. First time I've ever seen something like that.
Look at her mouth.
So you saw it too, right? Yeah, and we were talking to it. I just don't understand any of this. Our voice actors, they choose when they're coming, when not. And you go one eye open. Just like, I don't know, I find the sprite design more appealing than the style I went for in Blood Drive or whatever it was called, where they had like the chibi forms with the constant freaking smiley faces. It feels like the sprites somehow has more emotion to them. It's weird. Except that there's no easy way out for us. There's no easy... I can actually play that. This is like... Let's do that. Will I be able to sing along to it though? Nah, I always find it hard to actually sing an actual song while playing guitar. I don't know how guitarists do that can, sing at the same time. I mean, I can sing when playing guitar. It's just usually, like, made up on the spot when I do that. And that's what makes it easier to do. But yeah, there's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. There's no easy way out. Actually, I can play the solo as well. Well, not the original solo, I forgot how to play that, but I can play the other bits. I think it's in E minor, G major. Anyways, no easy way out aside. Like it or not, we're stuck in here. How am I for time, anyway? After I read this line, I'll check. It'll be okay. Let's just, march on with our heads held high or something. And check how we are for time.
39 minutes. This LP is probably going to be longer than I was anticipating, honestly. I haven't even started on freaking
Resident Evil 2, and I know I'm gonna suck at that game, and I know that's gonna be a long one. It's like I said in the update video, I think I'm gonna approach the October special differently this year, and I don't really know how yet, because it's like the 16th of September. Usually I would have had most of the recording done by now, but you know, because I had the mental breakdown and shit, it made it kind of, you know, impossible to do any recording. And like prior to recording, you know, that update video, the last actual recording I'd like done was like maybe half a month ago at least. So it's just like, yeah, I'm back into, you know, this and also recording. I don't want to like record too much, you know. I don't want to like go too overboard and push myself. Just like I was like when I recorded for Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, the third part, like you encounter this cat and it said something along the lines of just like, balance is the key to something in a sane mind, or something like that. And it's like, true that. I just like thinking, it's like, yeah, balance. Don't push myself too hard with these bloody videos. Just go at whatever pace I feel is best. And right now I feel like recording 3 parts, essentially, much like with that. I record 3 parts for this, so I'll record the next part immediately after, and hopefully by then we'll have a save point so I don't have to record another part afterwards, because it'd be a pain in the ass. Because when I recorded for the other LP yesterday, editing took hours. I'd forgotten how long editing could take. Anyways, see you next time, viewers. See you next time.